China Current is a weekly news talk show from China to the world. We cover viral news about China every week and also give you the newest updates on China's cutting-edge technologies. Let's get started.
In December 2022, after winning the election, Donald Trump made a significant statement at a press conference. He said China and the United States can together solve all the problems of the world. Many people thought this meant Trump would try to work with China during his second term. However, the reality is that the United States isn't in a strong position to negotiate cooperation. Instead, it finds itself asking for China's help. The reason is simple. The U.S. national debt, which stands at $36 trillion, is the largest problem in the world right now. The United States cannot solve this issue on its own. Meanwhile, around the same time, China announced a policy that might be able to end the US dollar hegemony and reshape the global economy. On the 12th of December 2024, they called for a moderately loose monetary policy. This is a significant change as China only used a similar approach after the 2008 financial crisis from 2009 to 2011. Essentially, the Chinese government plans to raise funds by issuing long-term government bonds. They intend to use these funds to upgrade China's industries and help the global economy recover from the looming US national debt crisis. This strategy has been proving effective. In November 2008, the Chinese government introduced a $586 billion plan by issuing government bonds. A portion of this investment went into building high-speed rail, ports, and airports. Another part was lent to Chinese tech companies at low interest rate, particularly in new energy, telecommunication, and semiconductors. This is where China has the potential to significantly impact the US economy. For example, starting in 2009, Huawei dramatically increased its research and development spending. By 2012, its research and development budget reached $4.8 billion, making up 10% of its annual revenue. That same year, Huawei launched its first smartphone, the Ascend D1, marking its entry into the global high-end smartphone market and completing its industrial upgrade. For China, Huawei's upgrade boosted its workforce from 80,000 to 140,000, with 55% of these employees working in research and development. This created new income for at least 60,000 families. Additionally, Huawei generated significant foreign exchange. In 2022, the company's global sale revenue reached $99.18 billion, which was $11 billion more than Switzerland's GDP for that year. Huawei smartphones offer similar performance to Western brands, but are often priced lower. This affordability has allowed people in developing countries to access modern communication technologies, contributing to their economic growth through the internet. By 2023, Huawei had connected 19 million people in remote areas across 80 countries to the internet for the first time. This connectivity has opened up new export opportunities for South America and Africa, even if they don't sell directly to China, as they now have stronger bargaining power with European and US retailers. Huawei has been important in helping developing countries start their own tech companies. For example, a market research firm predicts that the Philippines data center market will reach $635 million by 2027. Instead of competing directly, Huawei provided equipment to the local telecom company Coverage ICT Solutions. Huawei's network equipment is much smaller, 70% less space than competitors, which lower the retail cost in expensive Malina. This has given the company Coverage a competitive advantage. By June 2023, Coverage has captured 54% of the Philippines' fiber-to-home market, keeping the benefits of this growth within the country. This shows that with a loose monetary policy, China's growing tech companies have created jobs and business opportunities. They've also helped boost the global economy by reducing the digital divide around the world. At the same time, China's industrial upgrade could challenge the dominance of the US dollar. In the past, the US managed its debt crisis because the dollar was tied to oil. Developing countries had to use dollar to buy oil for manufacturing and transportation, which kept the dollar strong. However, three important industries that China is developing could eventually change this oil-dollar system. First, the key industry is electric vehicles, which greatly reduce the need for oil in transportation. In China, 50% of vehicles sold are already electric. According to the International Energy Agency, more than half of all cars worldwide will be electric by 2035. By 2023, 60% of global EVs were made in China, placing the country at the forefront of a future transportation system that doesn't rely on oil. Notably, China's top EV manufacturer, BYD, launched its first all-electric sedan, the Qing, in 2012, thanks to previous industrial upgrade in the country. The second key area is renewable energy technologies, which reduce the need for fossil fuel to generate electricity. Since 2012, China has led the world in installing solar power, fully integrating it into the electrical grid. The cost of generating electricity has dropped by 70% since then, making energy much cheaper for Chinese manufacturers. For example, in Ningxia province, 87% of solar power generated is sold in the market, with a cost of just 2.5 cents per kilowatt hour. By comparison, the lowest electricity price in the US, in Louisiana, is 11.93 cents per kilowatt hour. In China, wherever the sun shines, affordable non-oil electricity is available. China is also tackling the main challenges of solar power like weather dependency and land use. On the 31st of December 2024, the country launched its first offshore solar power plant in Jiangsu province. This plant combines solar power, hydrogen production, and energy storage, generating 400 megawatts of electricity. During the day, any extra electricity is used to turn seawater into hydrogen gas. On cloudy days or at night, the stored hydrogen provides stable electricity, helping industries move away from fossil fuel. Third, China has the world's most advanced grid technology, which allows efficient transfer of wind and solar energy from remote areas to more developed regions. This means even people living far away can benefit from the green economy. China has about 1.4 billion people, with most living in the eastern coastal areas, leading to electricity shortages there. Meanwhile, the western regions have plenty of hydro and wind energy, but have low population density and are less industrialized. To solve this problem, China built a 3,000-kilometer power grid to send clean energy to the eastern provinces, using ultra-high voltage technology to minimize energy loss during transmission. This not only provides income for the western provinces, but also helps the east rely less on fossil fuel for power. Since 2009, China's steady progress in these three key areas has allowed it to produce and transport goods using much less oil. By 2023, China's industrial output made up about one-third of global production, and the United Nations Industrial Development Organization expects this share to rise to 45% by 2030. This means that if Beijing decides to stop using the US dollar, it could lead to a significant reduction in the dollar oil system. China is also promoting this oil-free energy system around the world. Africa, for example, has great weather conditions and is ideal for developing solar power. Over the past 3 years, China's solar panel supplier Jinko Solar has delivered solar panels and energy storage system to 45 African countries. In September 2024, China completed a 100-megawatt solar power plant project in South Africa, which will provide 480 gigawatts per hour of clean energy each year, enough to power 200,000 households. In the same month, China also announced plans to build 30 additional clean energy projects across Africa. By fostering green transitions in developing countries, the world not only reduces carbon dioxide emission, but also moves towards a future less reliant on the oil dollar system. Reflecting back on China's monetary policy, 16 years has passed since 2008, during which we've witnessed the rise and flourishing of the new tech giants like Huawei, DJI, and BYD. As a result, cutting-edge technologies are becoming increasingly affordable for a broader population. Looking ahead, China envisions that everyone will enjoy a more modern lifestyle in the next 16 years. And that is all for today. Thank you for watching this episode of China Currents. If you have any thoughts or comments about our show, please reach us at the email address below, and see you next time.